If you want to live like the top 1%, you need to manage money like they do, starting now. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a mindset problem. They don't track their spending, they don't plan, and they avoid tough questions. This keeps them stuck, stressed, and always behind. But the one handle money differently. They respect money and know where every dollar goes. They make smart choices every day, not just in a crisis. This isn't about making millions, it's about thinking, acting, and planning like those who stay ahead, calm and prepared. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, feeling anxious about bills, and pretending everything is fine, this is your wake-up call. In this audiobook, you'll learn to manage your money like the 1%, clearly, strategically, and confidently. No hype, just results. Let's start. Chapter 1. Clean up your financial mess before it ruins you. You have to clean up your financial mess before it ruins you. That's the first truth about money that most people avoid. They avoid it because it's uncomfortable. They avoid it because facing reality takes courage. But here's the thing. If you don't take charge of your money, it will eventually take charge of you. And when it does, it won't be kind. It won't care about your dreams. It won't care about your stress. It will simply collapse everything you're trying to build. So if you're serious about becoming like the 1%, this is where you start. Not by earning more, but by fixing what's already broken. You start by sitting down and looking at every piece of the mess. How much debt you've got. What bills are unpaid. How often you're spending without thinking. You write it all down, not to feel bad, but to finally get honest with yourself. Many people feel worried about their finances because they never take the time to look at their numbers. They guess, assume, and hope it's not too bad. But hope is not a plan. The successful ones don't hope. They know. They know where every dollar is and why it's there. You must treat your money like it matters, even if you don't have much right now. If your finances are a mess, it means you have habits that need to change. It means you've been doing things without thinking. It means your spending is emotional, reactive, and often unconscious. The issue isn't just the bills, it's the mindset that created those bills. And the longer you ignore it, the worse it gets. Start by being honest about your situation. That takes strength. Don't hide from the numbers. You need to know exactly how much you owe, who you owe it to, and when it's due. You need to know what subscriptions are draining your bank account, what expenses you can cut today, and what you're doing with your money that's not helping your future. Most people think they'll get their finances in order once they start earning more. That's not true. If you can't manage 500, you won't be able to handle 5,000. And if 5,000 is tough, 50,000 will just make the mess bigger. Money doesn't change habits, it shows them. The top 1% don't start with more income. They start by getting clear, getting clean, and staying focused. Now is the time to set boundaries. You don't need more income to take control. You need more awareness, more responsibility, and more self-respect. You must stop the financial bleeding. Cancel things you don't use. Track all your expenses for the next 30 days. Write down where every dollar goes. You'll be surprised by how much you waste without noticing. That's the real mess. It's not just about debt, it's about daily habits. It's feeling out of control without knowing why. Fix that. Also, stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself you deserve that new thing you can't afford. That small splurge won't hurt. Next month will be better. These thoughts break your financial rhythm. The 1% don't think that way. They think long-term. They plan their future. They avoid self-indulgence. They say no to temporary pleasures to build lasting freedom. Money is not for showing off or escaping life, but for giving yourself real control over your time and future. Develop discipline not for the world, but for yourself. Discipline leads to dignity. When you control your money, you walk taller, you sleep better. You stop stressing whenever your phone buzzes, fearing it's another payment reminder. You stop feeling ashamed when someone asks about your debt. You take pride in your progress because you earned it by showing up for yourself. This isn't about getting rich overnight. That's not how it works. Real financial success is built slowly, quietly, and consistently. It's not loud or flashy. It's not thrilling, it's responsible. Most folks avoid responsibility, but if you aim to live like the top 1%, you must think like them. They think differently. They don't ignore problems, they solve them. They don't blame the system, they improve their habits. They don't live in denial, they live with data, clarity, and truth. Start today. Look at the numbers. Examine your spending. Review your income. Admit the truth, it might not be good.
It might be embarrassing, but face it anyway.
The pain of honesty is better than the pain of regret. When you start fixing your money, you start fixing your life. Your relationships improve, your stress decreases. Your confidence grows. Why? Because you're no longer hiding or lying to yourself. You're doing the work. Cut the waste. Stop pretending it's okay to live paycheck to paycheck while spending on unnecessary things. That's not normal, that's survival. The one don't just get by, they build, plan and create a buffer. You can do this too. Stop reacting to money and start managing it. Stop hoping for better days and start making them happen. List your non-essential expenses. Be tough and honest. Do you really need that app subscription, that extra food delivery, or that shopping habit for comfort? Every dollar wasted today is a dollar you'll wish for tomorrow. Don't wait for a crisis. Clean it up now while you can still choose. If your finances are a mess, it's not because you're a bad person, but because you've developed unhelpful habits. These can be fixed, but only if you stop ignoring the problem. No one will do this for you. No one is coming to save you. The government won't fix it. Your job won't fix it. Only you can fix it. And that's good news because it means you're in control. Start from where you are. It doesn't matter how deep the hole is. What matters is that you stop digging and start climbing, one habit and one choice at a time. You stop spending to feel good and start saving to feel safe. You track your money daily. You hold yourself to a new standard, aiming for progress, not perfection. The top 1 live by systems. They automate, track and review. Every week they sit down and look at their numbers. They know their income, expenses, debt and goals. That's not boring, that's power. You need to build that system for yourself. Pick a day every week to review your money. Update your numbers. Ask yourself, am I getting better or worse? If it's worse, fix it. If it's better, keep going. The moment you take your money seriously, everything changes. You stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like a builder. You stop wasting time blaming the past and start investing in your future. You stop thinking about what you can't afford and start focusing on what you can create. That change from reacting to building is what sets the top 1 apart from everyone else. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Begin while it's messy. Begin while it's tough. Begin while it's scary. The longer you wait, the worse it gets. So decide now that you're done living in financial stress. You're done wasting money. You're done ignoring the numbers. From now on, live like someone who respects their future, because that's what managing your money really means. It means you care about the life you're trying to build. You don't have to be rich to take control. You just have to care enough about your future to stop avoiding the truth. Clean up the mess now before it gets worse. That's how you start thinking like the top 1. Not by chasing more, but by fixing what's already broken. Because if you don't fix the foundation, it doesn't matter how much money you make, the cracks will grow, the stress will multiply, and sooner or later, the whole thing will fall apart. Don't let it get to that point. Clean it up now and for good. Then build something that lasts. That's the key difference. That's the mindset. That's how the top 1 do it, and so can you. Chapter 2. Start treating money with real respect. Most people never get ahead financially because they don't respect money. They use it, spend it, chase it, but don't respect it. Without respect, money doesn't stay with you. That's why many people earn and lose, year after year. It's not about luck or the economy. It's about how they treat money. If money always leaves your hands, you need to stop and ask what kind of relationship you have with it. If you treated your best friend the way you treat your money, they would have left long ago. Respect starts with how you think. If you see money as just a tool to get through the week, you'll never grow it. If you see money as something that just comes and goes, that's all it will ever do. But if you start to see it as something that needs care, attention, protection and structure, that's when things change. It's not about worshipping money, it's about respecting it. It's about knowing that money, when handled properly, can help you gain freedom, stability and peace of mind. When mishandled, it will drain you, stress you out and mess up your future. Look at how you deal with money every day. Are you careful with it or careless? Do you check your accounts regularly or avoid looking? Do you make thoughtful decisions before spending or spend first and regret later? Every small action shows how you feel about money deep down. Respect isn't just a feeling, it's a habit. Most people haven't built those habits because they've never been taught how. Start simple. When you get paid, don't rush to spend. Take a moment to think. Ask yourself, what's the smartest thing I can do with this? Not the easiest, not the most fun, the smartest. Respecting money means you pause. It means you plan. It means you look at your future and ask, how can I use this money to make life better later, not just easier now? That's a question most people never ask, but the one do every single time. The way you talk about money also matters. If you keep saying, I'm broke, or I'm just not good with money, that becomes your identity. And what you believe, you repeat. The one don't speak like victims, they speak with intention. They say, I'm learning to handle money well. I'm building a better financial future. I make smart choices with what I have. That kind of language creates action, and that action creates results. It's not magic, it's maturity. Respect also means you stop playing games with your money. No more gambling, no more impulsive purchases, no more using it to escape emotions. People often use money to feel better. They shop when they feel stressed. They buy things to impress others. They spend just to feel something. That's not respect, that's emotional spending, and it's one of the quickest ways to stay broke. The one don't use money to fix their feelings, they use it to build their options. They don't buy what feels good, they buy what helps them move forward. You also show respect for money by how you manage it. If your money has no purpose, it disappears. Money needs a purpose, structure, and direction. You can't just keep it all in one account and hope you make the right choices. That's like pouring water into your hands and trying not to spill. You need systems. One account for bills, one for savings, one for investing, and one for fun. Give every dollar a job. That's what the one do. That's how they stay in control. They don't just earn well, they organize well. Think about how much effort you put into earning money. The long hours, the pressure, the stress. If you work hard to earn money, why not be just as careful with how you use it? That's where respect comes in. Treat every dollar like it matters. Because it does. You worked for it. You gave your time, energy, and focus to get it. So it should not be wasted on things that don't add value to your life. Start asking yourself better questions. Before every purchase, ask, do I need this? Does this help me reach my goals? Is this worth the effort it took to earn? Would my future self be proud of this choice? These aren't hard questions. They're powerful. They slow you down. They make you think, and thinking is the start of all change. People who respect money think first, spend second. People who don't respect money spend first and regret later. Which side do you want to be on? It's also important to protect your money. If you leave your bank account open to every subscription, impulse, and emotion, don't be shocked when it vanishes. You need to protect it. Check your accounts every week. Look at how you spend money. Notice any patterns. What are you wasting money on? What can you cut back on? What should you change? This is how you stay in control. Don't wait for problems to arise. Look ahead and prevent them. This is how the wealthy operate. And don't mix up respect with fear. Fear makes you hide. Respect makes you plan. Fear avoids, while respect engages. You shouldn't fear money. You should understand it. Learn about it. Work with it. Be curious. Ask questions. Read books. Watch how the experts manage it. Follow the habits of those who have built real wealth. They aren't lucky. They're consistent. And consistency starts with respect. You also show respect by being grateful. When you get paid, feel thankful, not just for the money, but for the chance to grow, build, and improve. Gratitude changes how you manage money. You stop taking it for granted and start taking it seriously. You stop saying it's never enough and start asking how to make the most of what you have. This change can transform your life. The truth is, most people have enough to begin with. They just haven't made the habits to make it work. People often think they need to earn 6 figures to respect money. That's not true. You start where you are. Even with a small paycheck, you can create good habits. You can save a little. You can avoid waste. You can plan smarter. The habits you form with a small amount of money are the same ones you'll need with a large amount. If you don't respect $10, you won't respect 10,000. That's why so many people who win the lottery end up losing it all. They never built the respect or learned the right mindset. Remember, money flows to those who manage it well, not to those who chase it, brag about it, or show it off, but to those who handle it with care. You don't have to be flashy or impressive. You just need to be responsible, quietly and consistently, every day. That's what the top 1 do, and you can do it too. Start now. Clean up your spending habits. Make a real budget. Automate your savings. Set up a clear plan. Make your money work for you, not the other way around. Remember, how you handle your money reflects how you handle your future. If you are careless with your money, you are careless with your future. But if you respect your money, you show the world and yourself that you are ready for more. Respect is quiet and doesn't need attention. It simply works, day by day, choice after choice. One day, you will wake up and realize you are not stressed about money anymore. You are not scared or confused. You are focused, calm, and in control. This isn't luck. It's the result of daily respect for your money. If you want to handle your money like the top £1, this is where you start. It's not about making more money or finding new tricks. It's about having deep respect for each dollar, every choice, and the future you're creating. That's the base. Once you have that, everything else falls into place. Chapter 3. Grow your income without working more hours. You don't get ahead in life by just working longer hours. You get ahead by working smarter, thinking differently, and building systems that grow without you constantly working. The top 1 know this early. They understand time is limited, but ideas are not. They see that income tied directly to hours is a trap if you don't move beyond it. To multiply income, they disconnect their money from their physical presence. This means learning to earn even when they're not working. The first change you need to make is this. Stop thinking that working more is the only way to make more. Most people think if they want more money, they need to work more hours. But this idea traps you. No matter how many hours you work, you only have so many. If your income depends on time, your potential is limited. The top 1 don't accept this. They seek leverage. They look for results from systems, not just hard work. View your skills differently. What can you do that others find valuable? What have you learned that someone else would pay to learn quickly? Your experience, lessons, and talents are your income sources. Most people ignore these because they think only big ideas create wealth. But everyday skills turned into products, services, or scalable offerings can increase income beyond any 9-to-5 job. Think of it like this. If you can solve a problem for someone once and they pay you, that's good. If you can turn a solution into something that works repeatedly without needing your constant attention, you've created leverage. This could be a digital product, an online class, a service with a team, or a system that earns money even while you sleep. This isn't a dream. It's a strategy. People who achieve financial success stop trading time for money and start creating value on a large scale. You need to become a creator of income, not just an earner. Earning means showing up and getting paid. Creating means building something that continues to work even after you step away. That's the difference between those who remain stuck and those who move ahead. You don't need to be a genius, you just need to be purposeful. What do people often ask for your help with? What problems do you solve easily that others find hard? What could you create once that others would be willing to pay for regularly? You can also increase your income by using money wisely. Every dollar you save can become a worker for you. You don't need to do everything on your own. You can invest. You can put your money into things that grow without your constant involvement. You can buy assets that pay you, like stocks, index funds, real estate, or small business ideas depending on your understanding and risk level. The key is to stop letting your money sit idle and start making it work for you. But to do this, you must stop spending all that you earn. If all your money goes into your lifestyle, there's nothing left to grow. The wealthy not only live below their means, but they also reinvest the difference. They use that gap to create more opportunities. While most people upgrade their cars or take another vacation with every raise, the wealthy buy time, buy assets, buy control. That's how they escape the grind, not overnight, but slowly, quietly, and consistently. You also need to think about skill stacking. You don't have to be the best in the world at one thing, but if you combine a few solid skills, you become valuable in ways others aren't. Maybe you're good at writing and sales, or maybe you understand tech and have a creative eye. These skills can create opportunities. They can lead to freelance work, consulting, side projects, or your own business. The more useful you become, the more income opportunities you find without working more hours. Automation is another game changer. People automate tasks that drain their time, like bill payments, content distribution, and client onboarding. They create systems that remove daily decisions. This frees up your mind for bigger tasks. If you spend all your time on low-value tasks, you'll never make real progress. But if you automate the small stuff and focus your energy on high-value creation, your income naturally starts rising. You stop feeling busy and start becoming truly productive in ways that actually make a difference. Another area where people miss out is pricing. They undervalue themselves, charge too little, and are afraid to ask for more. But here's the truth. If you want to grow your income, you must raise your standards. You must deliver more value and charge accordingly. You need to understand your worth in the marketplace and stop settling for less. This is not arrogance, it's accuracy. If you know what you bring to the table, price it with confidence. The top one don't compete on being the cheapest, they compete on being the most effective. You also need to surround yourself with people who think bigger. If everyone around you thinks that more hours mean more money, you'll likely think the same way. But if you hang out with people who talk about systems, investments, and ownership, you'll start seeing new opportunities. Your surroundings either limit or expand you, so choose them wisely. Join groups, read books, and follow people who have achieved your goals. Their mindset will challenge yours, and that's beneficial. Track your progress because it's important. Set income goals not just for the amount, but for how it's earned. Is it passive or active, scalable or limited, stressful or energizing? Income isn't just about the number, it's about the freedom it provides. More hours won't give you freedom, but better systems will. So measure the quality of your income, not just the quantity. You also need to focus on growing your income over time without working more hours. This doesn't happen quickly. It takes time to set up, learn, fail, and adjust. But once it's working, the benefits are huge. You don't have to keep working hard forever. You create it once, and it keeps giving back. Maybe it's slow at first, but that shows it works. Then you improve it. Then you expand it. Then you watch it grow. Don't fall into the trap of always being busy. Being busy isn't success. It's often just avoiding the real work. It feels like you're doing something important, but it's usually just reacting. Step back and ask yourself, where is my time going? What am I making that will last beyond today? If you're just getting through each day, you'll stay in that mode. But if you make time to build, think, and design systems, you move toward wealth. You have more options than you think. We live in a world where technology and tools let anyone earn in many ways. You can teach what you know. You can create something helpful. You can work with others. You can use your skills in different ways. The question isn't if you can. The question is, will you take it seriously enough to start? Wait for the right time. Start small. Start with what you know. Build something simple that helps one person, then help 2, then 10. The compound effect is real, and once it kicks in, you stop relying on longer hours and start making smarter choices. Growing your income without adding hours is about choices, priorities, and seeing yourself as more than just a worker. You are a builder, a designer, a creator. When you act like it, everything changes. You stop feeling trapped and tired and start feeling powerful. Your income grows even when you rest, think, or sleep. This isn't a dream, it's the reward of doing it right. That's how the top one operate, and it's waiting for you, not someday, but the moment you stop working harder and start building smarter. Chapter 4. Break your habit of spending to feel better. Spending money to feel better is a common habit that can harm your financial future. Buying things doesn't fix your emotions or solve stress, but many people do it because it gives them a brief sense of relief, a quick high, or a moment of distraction. This temporary feeling becomes addictive and a part of how they cope. When they're sad, they go shopping. When they're bored, they spend. When they feel insecure, they buy something to feel important. But this feeling never lasts. The underlying problem remains, and the financial damage quietly grows. Each emotional purchase adds up. It's important to realize what's really happening when you spend to feel better. It's not about the item you buy. It's about trying to escape something inside, covering discomfort with pleasure, or hiding from parts of your life that don't feel right. But you can't buy peace of mind, you can't buy your way to self-worth, and you definitely can't swipe your way out of paying. What you're really doing is numbing yourself, just like others might use food, scrolling, or other distractions. Spending is just your way. To break this habit, you need to slow down and notice the pattern. What feeling usually makes you want to spend? Is it anxiety, loneliness, stress, or envy? Pay attention to the moment right before you feel the urge to spend. That moment holds the truth. If you can catch it, you can change it. That's where control starts, in the pause, the gap between the emotion and the action. Most emotional spending happens when you are disconnected from what really matters. You feel something is missing, and you reach for something outside yourself to fill it. A new outfit, a new gadget, a nice dinner, something to lift your mood. But the one don't reach for dopamine, they reach for discipline. They feel the same emotions as everyone else, but they've trained themselves not to run from them. They sit with discomfort, ask better questions, and find healthier ways to release it. That's a skill, and you can develop it too. You also need to remove the lies that justify emotional spending. The lie that says, "You've had a tough week, you deserve this." The lie that says, "It's just a small purchase." The lie that says, "This will make me feel better." These phrases are signals. They're signs that you're about to choose short-term comfort over long-term progress. And every time you listen to those lies, your money habits weaken, not just financially, but mentally, because every time you spend to feel better, you avoid growth. You avoid the deeper work that needs to be done. Growth starts when you face the emotion instead of covering it. Ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Not what you want to buy, not what looks good, not what's on sale, but what's going on inside. Is it pressure? Is it insecurity? Is it self-doubt? Identify it, put a name to it. Once you understand what you're dealing with, the urge to spend loses its grip. It's no longer just a reaction, it becomes a choice. Next, create new habits to replace the old ones. You can't just stop emotional spending, you have to redirect it. When you feel the urge to spend, do something different. Go for a walk. Write down your thoughts. Call a friend who listens. Clean up your space. Work on a goal. Take deep breaths. Break the cycle. If you don't, you'll keep repeating it, and each repetition strengthens the habit. This is why many people can't stop. It's not about willpower. It's about awareness and having alternatives. You also need to create a new identity. See yourself as someone in control who makes wise choices and handles emotions maturely, not with money. Identity influences behavior. If you keep saying, "I'm just a spender," you'll act like one. But if you start saying, "I'm someone who uses money thoughtfully," your actions will align with that belief. Say it, believe it. Remind yourself every day. Make it harder to spend money without thinking. Remove saved cards from websites. Unsubscribe from marketing emails. Block shopping apps on your phone. Add steps to the process because emotional spending likes ease. The faster the purchase, the less time your brain has to stop it. Slow it down. Make yourself earn it. The extra steps give you a chance to think and ask, do I really want this, or am I just avoiding something? Set rules to protect your money. For example, a 24-hour rule. If you want something, write it down, wait a day, and see if you still want it. Often the desire fades because it's not about the item, but the feeling, and feelings change. You don't need to act on all of them. Some just need time to pass. Start keeping a record of emotional purchases. Every time you spend due to emotion, write it down. Note what you bought, how much it cost, what you were feeling, what happened after, whether it helped, or if you felt regret. This tracking isn't to shame you, it's to help you see the cost, not just financially, but emotionally. Most people don't realize how much they're spending to escape feelings that never get resolved. When you finally see it, you begin to take your power back. You also need to build a life you don't want to escape from. The more you live in line with your values, the less you'll need external things to feel good. Focus on your health. Build real relationships. Pursue meaningful goals. Create progress that fulfills you. These things fill you in ways no purchase ever will. When your life is full, the need to spend from emotions fades. You don't crave quick pleasure. You're rooted in something deeper. Practice gratitude. Real daily gratitude. Write down the good things in your life. Focus on what you already have. Gratitude changes your view. It reminds you that you're not missing anything. You don't need more stuff to feel complete. Your worth isn't tied to what you own. Gratitude creates peace. Peace kills the need to spend to feel better. Set a money goal that inspires you. Something that excites you more than the next online purchase. A goal that makes you think twice before spending. Maybe it's a debt-free life. Maybe it's a freedom fund. Maybe it's investing in something you believe in. Whatever it is, keep it visible. Write it down. Put it on your wall. Look at it daily, because when your vision is clear, your choices change. The urge to spend fades in the presence of a meaningful goal. Speak to someone about your habits. A mentor, a coach, a friend who understands. You don't have to do this alone. Emotional habits lose power when exposed. When you talk about them, you learn, grow, stop feeling alone, and get support that keeps you on track. Most people struggle quietly, but silence keeps you stuck. Speak up, get help, move forward. Celebrate your progress each time you resist emotional spending. Acknowledge it every time you sit with discomfort instead of covering it. Be proud. Change happens in moments. Stack those moments, build momentum. You don't need to be perfect, just stay committed. Choose growth over comfort. Choose awareness over autopilot. That's how transformation begins. Understand that this is a process. Breaking emotional spending is not a switch. It's a shift, a daily choice, a deeper awareness, a new way of relating to your emotions and your money. And over time, it gets easier. You build strength, you build clarity, you build confidence, until one day you look back and realize you don't spend to feel better anymore. You feel better because you're living with intention, discipline, and self-respect. That's what the one do. Not because they're special, but because they've learned to handle their emotions without running to the store, and you can too. You have the strength, you have the awareness. You just need to start using it. One choice at a time, one pause at a time, one better decision at a time. That's how you break the habit for good. That's how you build a life where money serves you, not controls you. That's how you take your power back and never give it away again. Chapter 5. Build savings so you don't panic during emergencies. Emergencies don't ask for permission. They don't send a notice. They don't wait until you're ready. They show up when they want, and they test how prepared you are. If you don't have savings, you don't have protection. When things go wrong, you panic, you hurry, you borrow, you stress. In that moment, all the pressure you thought you could handle becomes too much. That's what happens when you don't have savings. Every small problem turns into a crisis. It takes your focus away from growth and puts you in survival mode. That's why the best decision for your future peace of mind is to build savings before you need them. Many people avoid saving because they think they can't afford it. They say they'll start later when they make more money, but the truth is, they don't have a savings problem, they have a priority problem. They see savings as an extra instead of a necessity. They see it as a nice idea instead of a serious part of their life strategy. The top one never make that mistake. They see savings as protection, as insurance, as freedom. They know emergencies are part of life. They don't just hope things won't go wrong. They prepare for when they do. Saving isn't about how much you earn, it's about what you decide to keep. You can make a little and still save if you choose to prioritize it. You can make a lot and still be one accident away from disaster if you don't save. It's more about your mindset than your income. If you respect your future, you save for it. If you value peace, you create a cushion for tough times because they will come eventually. That's not negative thinking, it's wisdom. Start with a simple goal. Decide to set aside a small percentage of your earnings. Whether it's 5, 10, or even 2, it's better than nothing. The number isn't what matters most, the habit does. Saving is like a muscle, you build it by using it. The amount grows over time, but if you never start, nothing changes. And when an emergency hits, you're right back where you've always been, panicking, borrowing, and falling behind. Open a separate account for savings. Not one you use every day, not one that's easy to dip into. Give it distance, give it purpose. Call it your calm fund if you want, because that's what it gives you, calm when everyone else is in chaos. Every time you add to it, remind yourself that you're building strength. You're creating security. You're choosing responsibility over regret. That feeling will carry you through the moments when you're tempted to skip saving for the month. It will remind you of who you're becoming. Cut out the belief that saving is only for rich people. That's false. Rich people got rich by making smart choices when they weren't rich. They saved when it was tough. They saved even when others laughed at them. They saved even when it wasn't exciting. Because of that, they now have more freedom. You can do this too. It begins with changing how you see yourself. If you think you're someone who always struggles, you'll act that way. But if you see yourself as someone who takes charge of your money and plans for the future, your actions will start to show that. Stop the habit of spending every dollar you earn. That habit keeps people broke. No matter how much they make, it just goes right back out. That's not freedom, that's a cycle. You work, you spend, you start over. But saving breaks that cycle. It gives you space, it gives you choices, it gives you control. And control is something many people don't realize they've lost until it's too late. Don't think you need to build a big savings account all at once. That's not how it works. You build it slowly, treat it like a commitment, like something sacred. Add to it regularly, even if it's small. Over time, those small deposits become something strong and reliable. Something you can lean on when life gets hard. And when everyone else is panicking, you'll be calm. Not because life is perfect, but because you are prepared. Track your spending. Most people don't know where their money goes. And because of that, they believe they have no room to save. But the truth is, if you tracked every dollar, you'd find plenty of places where your money is being wasted. Small expenses that add up, purchases that aren't necessary, convenience that costs too much. You don't need to live like a monk. You just need to stop pretending there's no room for change. Be honest, be clear, and make decisions that reflect the life you say you want. Start seeing savings as a form of power. When you have money saved, you don't need to say yes to every opportunity. You can say no. You can pause. You can think clearly. That's what power is. Not loud, not aggressive, but calm, thoughtful, steady. Most people don't live that way. They live one bill away from breakdown. But you don't have to. You can build something different, one saving decision at a time. It's not about fear. It's about wisdom. It's about looking ahead and realizing that your future self will thank you for every dollar you saved, every time you said no to something you didn't need, every time you prioritized peace over pleasure. That version of you, stronger, more stable, more secure, is built by the choices you make today. Teach yourself to feel good about saving. Most people only feel good when they're spending. That mindset keeps them poor. But you can train your brain to find pride in saving, to feel strong when you add to your account, to celebrate progress. It takes intention, but it works. Eventually, you'll find more joy in watching your savings grow than in buying things you don't really need. If you have debt, that's fine. You don't have to choose one over the other. You can pay off debt and build a small savings at the same time. Actually, having some savings can keep you from falling further into debt when an emergency comes up. Many people miss this point. They pay off all their debt but leave nothing in savings, so when a flat tire or medical bill happens, they're in trouble again. Balance your approach. Protect your progress. Make saving automatic. Take the emotion out of it. Don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left over. Pay yourself first. Set up a transfer that moves money right when you get paid. Treat it like a bill. It's non-negotiable because your future isn't optional. Your peace isn't optional, and your stability is worth protecting. Have a plan for emergencies. Know what kind of savings you need. 3 months of expenses. 6 months. Start with 1 month. That's a solid goal. If you can cover your basic needs for 1 full month without income, you've already done something most people never achieve, and from there, you keep going. Month by month, progress by progress. Review your savings every week, not to stress, but to stay aware. Awareness creates responsibility. It keeps you engaged. It reminds you of what you're building. Don't ignore it. Don't hide from it. Stay connected. Let that number represent your effort, your discipline, your commitment to living with strength instead of stress. You're not weak for being unprepared in the past, but you will stay stuck if you don't decide to change now. You have what it takes to build savings. You have what it takes to live with peace. But peace doesn't come from wishing. It comes from action. Small, daily, consistent action. When the next emergency comes, and it will, think about the difference between grabbing a credit card in panic and calmly dealing with it using money you've saved. That difference is huge. It's the difference between feeling out of control and feeling in charge, between reacting and responding, between chaos and peace. And build savings so you can stop living on edge, so you can sleep well at night, so you can face problems without fear, so you can give yourself some breathing room. Life is unpredictable, but your response doesn't have to be panic. It can be strength. It can be calm. It can be confidence. Built one saving habit at a time. That's how the one live. Not because emergencies don't happen to them, but because they've planned for it. You can do the same, not later. Now, with whatever you have. Wherever you are, because the moment you decide your future matters more than your impulses, you stop living in fear and you start living with control. That's the mindset, that's the path, that's the difference. Chapter 6. Stop buying things just to impress other people. Buying things just to impress others is one of the quickest ways to stay broke, unhappy, and stuck in a life that doesn't reflect who you really are. You spend money you can't afford on things you don't truly want, just to get approval from people who aren't even paying attention. It's exhausting. It's empty. And worst of all, it keeps you from building anything real. It distracts you from what matters. Because the more you chase image, the more you lose control. Your decisions become about appearances instead of values. And when that happens, your financial life becomes a show, not a strategy. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Not with your car, not with your clothes, not with your phone, not with the size of your house or where you go on vacation. None of that brings lasting respect. People might notice for a moment, but they quickly move on. And when they do, you're left with the bill, the payment, the stress, and the regret. All for a moment of attention that didn't build you up, but broke you down. This habit comes from insecurity. When you're not confident in who you are, you try to buy confidence. You try to create it through what people see. You say, "Look at my life," hoping they'll admire it. But deep down, you know it's a performance. That's why it never feels good for long. That's why the high doesn't last. Because approval that's based on stuff is shallow. It fades quickly, and you're stuck needing the next thing and the next and the next. It becomes a cycle, not of growth, but of seeking validation. You have to ask yourself who you're really trying to impress. Is it strangers online? Is it friends who are doing the same thing? Is it family members who once doubted you? Most of the time, the people you're trying to impress aren't thinking about you at all. They're too busy worrying about their own lives. And that's the truth. Most people are not watching your every move. You are not being judged the way you think you are. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you can stop living for other people's reactions. Real peace comes from living according to your values, not their expectations. Real wealth is built quietly, not for show. The one don't waste money trying to prove they have it. They focus on freedom, not attention. They care about assets, not applause. They don't buy things to be noticed. They buy things to make life easier, smarter, and more efficient. Often they don't buy at all. They wait, they think, and they move with purpose, not pressure. If you want to build financial strength, let go of the need to be seen as successful. Most people who look successful are faking it. They're leasing the car, drowning in debt, and living paycheck to paycheck behind the scenes. Don't copy a life you wouldn't trade places with when the lights go off. Don't follow someone's lifestyle if you wouldn't want their stress. Your life is yours. You don't owe anyone a show. You don't have to keep up with anyone. Your clothes don't define you. Your phone doesn't define you. Your apartment doesn't define you. Your job title doesn't define you. Who you are, how you live, how you treat others, and how you spend your time, that's what matters. That's what builds self-respect. The stronger your self-respect is, the less you'll feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Stop letting social pressure shape your spending. Just because everyone around you is upgrading doesn't mean you should. Just because they're posting about it doesn't mean it's wise. Just because someone has something doesn't mean they're happy. Half the people posting about success are deeply stressed behind the scenes. They're living for reactions, not results. Don't let their noise become your standard. Build a financial life that gives you peace, not performance. Choose clothes that are comfortable and clean, not just expensive. Choose a car that's reliable and affordable, not flashy. Choose a phone that does what you need, not what everyone else wants. Choose to live below your means, even when you could spend more. That's power, that's control. That's how real wealth begins. Take time to define what success means to you, not what you were told, not what others expect, but what actually matters to you. Is it time freedom? Is it having no debt? Is it being able to support your family? Is it waking up without financial worries? These are the things worth building. These are the wins that matter. When you know what matters, you stop wasting money on things that don't. Challenge yourself to go a month without buying anything just to impress others. Notice how you feel different. Notice how much money you save. Notice how much stress is lifted when you're not trying to perform for others. That stress has been draining you. It has been keeping you from your real goals. The moment you stop feeding it, you take your power back. Focus on investments, not image. Image fades, investments grow. Put your money where it matters, into your emergency fund, into your future, into your skills, into something that gives you returns, not reactions, because reactions don't build wealth. Applause doesn't create security, but smart money moves do. Quiet money decisions build loud results later. You need to be patient and stay focused. Stop explaining your decisions. You don't have to justify living simply. You don't need to explain why you didn't get the latest gadget. Your goals don't need approval, and your peace doesn't need validation. You can live by your own rules, even if others don't understand. Often, those who mock your discipline now will envy your freedom later. Stay focused on the long term. What is more important? Their approval today or your freedom in 5 years? What matters more? A new phone every year or being debt-free for life? What is more valuable? Weekend shopping sprees or waking up without financial stress? You know the answer. But you need to act on it. Choose the future you want over the attention you don't need. Be proud of simple living, proud of discipline, proud of ignoring trends. That's not weakness. That's wisdom, strength, and maturity. The more you walk that path, the stronger you become, not just financially, but mentally. You stop being swayed by opinions and start leading yourself. That's real confidence. Pay attention to your triggers. What makes you want to buy to impress? Is it scrolling on social media? Is it being around certain people? Is it boredom? Recognize the pattern, interrupt it, replace it. If social media feeds comparison, take a break. If certain environments pressure you, step away. You don't need to prove yourself in places that don't care about your real growth. Choose people who don't care about what you wear, what you drive, or how much your shoes cost. Choose people who care about your character, your values, your consistency. Those are the people who last, and those are the people you can be real with. You'll never feel free if you surround yourself with people who judge based on status. Build a circle that respects who you are, not what you have. Track the money you've spent trying to impress others. Add it up. Look at how much you've spent on things that didn't matter weeks later. Let that number surprise you. Let it remind you of what you could have created instead. It's not about feeling bad. It's about knowing you can't change what you don't see. Once you see the truth, you can start making better choices. Be patient with yourself. If this habit has been part of your life for years, it won't disappear overnight. But it can change. You can change one choice at a time, one better decision after another. Over time, the need to impress fades. It gets replaced by pride in how you're living, calm in how you're building, and clarity in where you're going. Every time you choose peace over show, you grow. Every time you choose purpose over pressure, you win. Every time you walk away from something that doesn't help your goals, you prove to yourself that you're not controlled by opinions. That's freedom, and that's how the top 1% live, not for others, but for their own growth. You don't need to be seen to be successful. You don't need to be loud to be strong. You just need to be clear, steady, and dedicated to building a life that shows your true values. That's how you win, quietly, powerfully, on your terms. That's how you stop buying things just to impress and start building a life that truly matters. Chapter 7. Use money to build freedom, not fake happiness. Money is a tool, and that's all it is. But how you use that tool shapes your whole life. Most people use money to chase a feeling. They try to buy excitement, comfort, admiration, entertainment, distraction, and use it to avoid the parts of life they don't want to face. And for a moment, it works. A new purchase, a weekend trip, A shiny object, a quick reward. It feels good, until it doesn't. Because the happiness they're buying isn't real. It fades. It wears off, and when it's gone, they need another fix. That cycle keeps people stuck. They earn to spend. They spend to feel. They feel empty. So they earn again, just to do it all over. That isn't freedom. It's dependence with a smile. You can choose differently. You can use money to build a life that doesn't fall apart when the feelings fade. You can use money to buy time, options, peace, growth, and space. That's what freedom really means. Not waking up worried about getting through the month, not taking jobs out of desperation, not saying yes when you want to say no. Freedom means control. It means your life belongs to you. It means money serves you, not the other way around. To build freedom, stop trading your future for a feeling. Each time you spend to feel better, you lose a bit of power. Each time you buy something to look good, instead of live well, you trade something lasting for something temporary. And each time you chase happiness through things, you avoid the work that leads to a meaningful life. Real happiness is created, not bought. It comes from knowing you're doing important things, from becoming someone you respect, from living true to your values, not just your wants. People who achieve lasting success aren't chasing quick pleasures. They're planning their lives. They're thinking ahead. They're making sacrifices that create room, not stress. They're not focused on today's excitement. They're focused on tomorrow's peace. They ask different questions. Will this help me grow? Will this bring me closer to my goals? Will this decision benefit me a year from now? That's how they use money. Thoughtfully, purposefully. And because of that, they build freedom while others are still chasing feelings. You don't need to be rich to start doing this. You just need to change your priorities. Instead of asking what you can afford, ask what is worth it. Instead of asking what looks good, ask what feels right. Instead of asking what will impress others, ask what will free you. These questions are simple yet powerful. They change how you view every dollar. Once you see money differently, you start living differently. Freedom begins with small choices. Saving instead of spending, saying no to what you don't need, choosing simplicity over clutter, investing in things that grow instead of things that fade, building a cushion so you don't panic, building a plan so you're not guessing. These decisions aren't glamorous, they don't bring applause, but they bring strength, and that strength grows quietly, steadily, day by day. One of the biggest lies people believe is that happiness is found in a lifestyle, a bigger house, a nicer car, a more expensive watch. They think if they upgrade everything, they'll finally feel good enough. But the truth is, if you don't feel fulfilled with less, more will only hide the problem. It won't fix it, and it'll come with a price. Debt, stress, pressure, comparison. The one don't fall for that. They don't use money to show off. They use it to be independent, to have more time, to gain power, and to have more options. You need to decide what freedom means to you. Maybe it's taking a break without feeling bad. Maybe it's waking up without debt. Maybe it's working on something you love instead of just earning money. Whatever it is, write it down. Make it clear. When you know what you're aiming for, it's easier to make good money choices. The urge to buy things that bring fake happiness gets weaker when you're building something real. Learn to wait before buying. When you want to buy something, ask if it solves a real problem or just gives you a thrill. Think about how you'll feel about this choice in a month. Most of the time the excitement fades and you wonder why you did it. But when you wait, you give yourself a chance to decide with wisdom, not emotion. That one moment of patience can change everything. Start replacing short satisfaction with long rewards. Saving money doesn't always feel exciting, but it creates peace. Investing in yourself doesn't always feel urgent, but it changes your future. Paying off debt doesn't always feel fun, but it brings strength. These are the trades you need to make, not for applause or attention, but for freedom. Because freedom is quiet. It doesn't demand to be seen, but it's felt every day when your life is truly yours. Be honest with yourself about your current habits. Are you using money to avoid something? To distract from stress? To cope with boredom? These patterns are common, but they don't have to stay. You can build new ones. Habits that heal instead of hide, actions that build instead of bury. Every time you choose intention over impulse, you change. You move toward freedom and peace. Create systems that make smart money choices automatic. Set up automatic savings and automate your bills. Plan your spending. The more decisions you take out of emotion and put into structure, the better your results. You don't need willpower every day. You need a system that supports your goals. And that system doesn't have to be complex, it just has to be consistent. Be careful of the people you follow. If your environment celebrates spending but never talks about building, you'll fall into the same trap. If your feed is full of people showing off but never showing the cost, you'll start thinking that's normal, but it's not. The loudest people often have the weakest foundation. Choose mentors who talk about peace, not just possessions. Choose examples who live with purpose, not just performance. Teach yourself to find joy in progress, in building, and in becoming. When you see your savings grow, celebrate. When you make a smart investment, feel proud. When you avoid a pointless purchase, recognize the strength it took. These moments matter. These habits shape your future. Real growth feels different. It's quieter, but deeper. And once you start experiencing it, you won't want to go back. You don't need more things. You need more clarity, more courage, more consistency. These don't come from a store. They come from within. They come from deciding that your life is more valuable than what others think, that your future is more important than today's thrill, and that your freedom is worth protecting at all costs. Money can bring peace, choices, and stability, but only if you use it wisely. If you waste it chasing fake highs, it will control you. But if you use it with purpose, it becomes your servant. It supports your life instead of taking from it. That's the shift you need to make, from spending money to feel good now to using it to build a better future. You're not here to impress anyone. You're here to grow, to build, to live on your terms. Every dollar you use with that mindset brings you closer. Every choice you make with that clarity gives you more control. You don't have to live like everyone else. You don't have to buy what they buy. You don't have to prove anything. Just build what matters and let your money show your values, not your fears. Freedom isn't about avoiding work, it's about choosing it. It's about working on what you love, not what you're forced into. It's about saying yes because you want to, not because you have to. That kind of life is possible, but only if you stop wasting money chasing feelings and start using it to create options. You won't get there by accident. You'll get there by deciding what matters most and aligning every financial decision with that vision. You'll get there by staying consistent, even when it's not exciting. You'll get there by trusting the process, even when it's slow. That's how real wealth is built. That's how lasting peace is created. Use your money to build something solid, something that supports your goals, something that gives you room to breathe. Fake happiness fades. Freedom stays. Choose wisely. Choose intentionally. Choose the path that leads to real control over your life. Because that's the life you deserve, and it's waiting for the moment you start using your money to serve your future, not your feelings. Chapter 8. Know exactly how much you owe right now. If you don't know how much you owe, then you're not really in control of your money. You might feel like you're managing things, you might feel like you're getting by, but if the total number isn't clear, you're operating in the dark, and that darkness keeps you stuck. It adds stress to your life, even when you act like everything is okay. It affects your choices, your mood, and your sleep. You might not notice it daily, but it's always there. Ignoring the truth doesn't help you. It only postpones the pain. That's why the first step to financial freedom is seeing the whole picture. Knowing how much you owe isn't about blame, it's about understanding. Understanding gives you the ability to make a plan, to move forward, and to stop fearing a number you haven't faced yet. Many people are scared to look at their debt because they think it will be too much. But ignoring it doesn't make it smaller, it only gives it more control over your life. The longer you avoid it, the more control it takes. And the only way to regain that control is to be completely honest. Unapologetically honest. Start by writing it all down. Every single debt, like credit cards, student loans, personal loans, medical bills, car payments, anything with a balance. Don't round it. Don't guess. Log into the accounts. Get the real numbers. Write them down next to the interest rate, the minimum payment, and the due date. Don't skip a single one. The goal is total awareness, not partial, not vague, full awareness. Because until you know exactly what you owe, you can't build a real plan. You're just guessing. And guessing keeps you stuck. It might feel uncomfortable, that normal. It might be more than you thought, that okay. What matters is that now you know, and once you know, you're no longer powerless. The worst feeling comes from the unknown. When you're unsure, you carry a quiet anxiety that follows you everywhere. But when you finally face the numbers, that anxiety starts to lose its grip. You might not have the solution yet, but you've taken the first step, truth. And truth is always the beginning of freedom. Now that you understand everything, you can start organizing your debts. Sort them by size, interest rate, or which ones are most stressful. Pick the way that works best for you. The goal isn't to fix everything right away. The goal is to take one step at a time, from a place of understanding, not confusion. When you're clear, your choices improve. You stop wasting money, you stop missing due dates. You stop reacting and start planning. Many people don't realize how much stress their debt is causing. They think it's okay because they're making minimum payments, but having debt you don't fully understand creates mental stress. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you put off goals. It makes you feel like you're falling behind, even if your income is growing. That's the cost of not knowing. It doesn't just impact your money, it impacts your mind. Start thinking about your debt differently. It's not who you are. It's a number. It's not forever. It's a present snapshot. Just like any problem, it improves when you focus, act, and stay consistent. Don't be ashamed of past choices. Just stop avoiding the results. Don't ignore problems. They deal with them early. That's why they stay ahead. It's not because they're perfect. It's because they take quick and full responsibility. Be clear with your plan. Decide how much you can pay toward debt each month. Even if it's a small amount, stick to it. Use automatic payments. No skipping, no waiting until you feel ready. Progress doesn't wait for motivation. It waits for decisions. You've already taken the hardest step by facing the truth. Now keep the momentum. Pay more than the minimum. Even if it's just a few extra dollars, each extra payment shortens the timeline. Every step forward builds your confidence. Don't ignore the feelings involved. Debt can feel burdensome. It can feel like failure, like you've made mistakes, like you're falling behind. But feelings can be misleading. The reality is you're not falling behind. You're waking up. You're doing work that many avoid. You're facing the facts. You're choosing clarity over comfort. That takes bravery. And that bravery will carry you further than shame ever could. Don't dwell on the past. Don't blame yourself. Just keep moving forward. One clear step at a time. If your debt involves others, if you share finances with someone, you need to communicate. Be open about the numbers. Hiding debt creates more stress, builds barriers, and destroys trust. But honesty builds unity. It turns your financial life into a shared mission instead of a silent burden. You don't have to fix everything alone, but you do need to take ownership. That's where respect begins. Take time each week to look at your finances. Debt doesn't disappear just because you wrote it down once. It changes every month. Stay connected. Track your payments. Celebrate your progress. You might be surprised how quickly things get better when you stay focused. Even small wins count. Every balance going down shows that your effort is paying off and that feedback keeps you motivated. If you want to stay out of debt after paying it off, the clarity you build now is your shield. People fall back into debt because they stop paying attention. They think they're done learning, but staying free from debt requires upkeep. It needs constant attention. The habits that help you get out of debt are the same habits that keep you out. Keep tracking, keep reviewing, stay alert. That's how the top 1 avoids setbacks. Use tools if you need them. Budget apps, spreadsheets, debt trackers, anything that helps you stay organized. Don't rely on memory. Don't assume you'll remember every due date. Systems protect progress. The stronger your system, the less room there is for stress to creep back in. You want peace of mind, not panic, and peace comes from structure. Understand your debt, not just emotionally but mathematically. Know how much interest you're paying. Know which debts are costing you the most over time. This knowledge isn't just helpful, it's essential. Without it, you're making random payments without a strategy. With it, you can optimize. You can focus on the high-interest ones first, or build momentum by paying off the smallest ones. Both approaches work, but pick one, commit, and stay consistent. This is your moment to stop drifting and start leading. Stop letting bills surprise you. Stop letting balances pile up. Stop living in confusion about your money.
You don't have to live like that.
You can know exactly where you stand at all times. This knowledge will calm your mind, sharpen your decisions, and empower your future. When you know what you owe, you can measure progress, set real goals, create timelines, and visualize being debt-free. This clarity drives motivation, and that motivation fuels discipline. This is how financial transformation begins, not with a raise or luck, but with responsibility. Face the facts and decide they will no longer control you. The best part is, the moment you write down everything you owe, you're already ahead of most people. You've taken control and you've started the process. The more honest you are with your numbers, the more confident you'll feel about managing them. The number might be big, but that's okay. You're not afraid of it anymore because now you're looking at it, addressing it, and changing it. You don't need perfection, you need truth, and you have that now. Use it to build a plan, track changes, make payments, and stay aware. That's how you take control of your money, change your relationship with debt, and move forward. Clearly, confidently, one smart decision at a time. You know what you owe, and now you get to decide what happens next. Chapter 9. Get serious about learning what rich people do. If you want to change your financial future, you have to stop guessing and start learning what rich people actually do. It's not what you think they do. It's not what they show on social media. It's what they actually do in private with their thoughts, habits, systems, and choices. This knowledge is out there, but most people don't take it seriously. They treat wealth like a mystery or a dream. They think rich people are lucky, born into it, or just different. So they never study it. They never watch it. They never copy it. They keep living the same way, hoping someday things will change. But things don't change just because you want them to. They change when you start doing what works, and the people who succeed financially are doing things you're not doing yet. Getting serious about learning how rich people work means treating wealth like a skill, not an accident. It means stopping the excuses. You can't keep saying money is evil or rich people are selfish. Those beliefs keep you poor. They keep you stuck in a mindset that pushes wealth away instead of attracting it. Rich people aren't better than you. They just know more about money. They've made different choices. They've paid attention for longer. They've built habits that bring results. If you want similar results, study their habits. See how they spend their time. Rich people value learning. They read. They study markets. They research trends. They take courses. They hire coaches. They ask questions. They don't think they know it all. They invest in learning more. They surround themselves with knowledgeable people. They treat knowledge like money because it is. What you know impacts every decision you make, every investment, every risk, every dollar spent. When you know better, you do better. Start watching what rich people read, what they talk about, what they track. They don't just watch TV all day. They don't scroll through distractions for hours. They focus on growth. They focus on data. They learn how businesses operate, how money flows, and how wealth is built and kept safe. They take this seriously because they understand that knowledge grows like money does. The more you learn, the smarter you become, and smart people make smart choices. Look at how they use their money. Rich people don't just earn more, they manage it better. They assign a role to every dollar. They invest early. They set up automatic systems. They protect their earnings. They live below their means longer than needed. They value control over appearance. They delay pleasure. They don't spend to appear successful. They spend to gain advantage. This is a mindset change most people never make. They think earning more will solve everything. But if you don't know how to handle money, earning more will just increase your mistakes. Notice how they create multiple sources of income. Rich people rarely rely on one paycheck. They generate income from investments, businesses, assets, royalties, and partnerships. They create things that keep earning them money even after they finish the work. They begin with small steps. They test ideas. They make changes. They expand. They don't wait for everything to be perfect. They act. They learn from their actions. If you rely on one job to support your whole life, one bad decision can ruin everything. Wealthy people avoid this risk. They build multiple sources of income, safety nets, and long-term plans. They view failure differently. Rich people don't avoid failure. They expect it and see it as feedback. They learn quickly because they're not afraid to make mistakes. They adjust and keep moving forward. Many people avoid failure so much that they never really take action, but action is how you learn. You can't learn everything just by reading. You need to act. Try things. Build something. Fail. Get up. Improve. Those who build long-term wealth are the ones who can take a setback and keep going. Notice how they protect their time. Wealthy people don't spend their time on things that don't help them progress in life. They are careful about who they talk to, what they consume, where they go, and how they use their energy. They say no often and stay focused. They keep distractions away. This discipline creates room for thinking, planning, and building. Without it, everything becomes noise, making it hard to hear your next move or see your path clearly. Learning from wealthy people means studying how they create space to lead themselves. Look closely at how they emotionally view money. Wealthy people don't fear money, nor do they worship it. They respect it and see it as a tool. They separate emotions from decision-making. They don't spend because they are sad, bored, or pressured. They spend because it fits the plan, creates a return, and aligns with their long-term strategy. This clarity doesn't happen by accident. It is learned, practiced, and repeated. You can do the same if you take it seriously and study it. Don't get distracted by surface-level advice. Look deeper. Look at the reasons behind the advice. What habits formed it? What beliefs shaped it? What principles guide it? Wealthy people follow systems. They create habits. They track their progress. They reflect often. They don't rely on luck. They plan their lives. Everything they do has a purpose. That's what you need to understand. The reason behind their choices. Once you understand that, you can start making your own strong choices. Not just copying them, but thinking like them. Build your own learning plan. Don't wait for school. Don't wait for someone to tell you what to learn. Create your own path. Read books about wealth. Learn about investing. Understand cash flow. Study taxes. Watch how markets change. Ask people who are ahead of you what they wish they had known earlier. Be curious. Be relentless. Don't settle for just knowing the basics. Go deeper, break things down, connect the dots, and most importantly, use what you learn. Knowledge without action is just noise. Surround yourself with people who think differently. If everyone around you finds budgeting boring, saving impossible, investing risky, and thinks rich people are greedy, you need new voices. Seek mentors, not just friends. Look for builders, not just talkers. Find examples, not just opinions. The people you spend time with shape what you believe is normal. If you want to grow, you need a new normal where building wealth isn't strange but expected. Don't wait until you earn more to start learning more. Learn now. The habits you build today shape what happens when you get more money. Most people think their financial problems are because they don't make enough. But when they finally earn more, nothing changes because the problem wasn't income, it was ignorance, lack of structure, lack of discipline, lack of knowledge. Fix that now, study now, apply now. That's how you make the most of every raise, every opportunity, every increase. Take notes. Keep a journal of what you're learning. Write down insights, lessons, strategies. Track what's working, review what didn't. Make your growth visible. When you treat learning like a mission, you start seeing everything differently. You stop feeling stuck, you start seeing doors. You stop blaming others, you start building systems. That's the difference between people who wish for wealth and people who work for it. Be obsessed with improving, not in a frantic way, but in a focused way. One new insight a day, one smarter choice a week, one mistake analyzed and corrected. That's how the one think. That's how they operate. They live in growth, they live in clarity, and they never stop learning. Not when they're broke, not when they're comfortable, not even when they're rich, because they know wealth isn't just something you get, it's something you keep. And keeping it means always learning. You don't need permission to learn well. You don't have to wait until you're older, smarter, or more experienced. You can start now, right where you are, with what you have. You can get serious today, not someday, not when it's urgent now. The sooner you learn, the faster you grow, and the faster you grow, the more chances you create. That's how wealth starts, not with a check, but with a mindset. This is the difference between staying where you are and becoming who you're meant to be. It's not magic, it's not a mystery, it's discipline. And the first discipline is learning what works from people who have already done it. Stop assuming, start studying, stop guessing, start applying, and get serious about learning what rich people do. Soon you'll stop wondering how they got there. You'll start living as they have, because you'll finally understand what it takes. More importantly, you'll be willing to do it. Chapter 10. Act rich by making smart money moves daily. You don't have to be rich to start acting like someone who is. In fact, most people who become rich did so because they built the habit of making smart money moves every single day, long before they had wealth. Acting rich isn't about faking success. It's not about showing off, spending big, or pretending you have more than you do. It's about thinking wisely, deciding with clarity, and treating your financial future like something that matters every day. It's about practicing the behaviors that lead to real wealth, not just waiting until you have more money to start doing things differently. Every day you make choices with your money. Some choices bring you closer to freedom, while others take you further away. The small decisions matter. The coffee you buy out of habit, the subscription you forgot to cancel, the impulse purchase you see as a reward. It all adds up, and if you keep thinking that small things don't matter, you'll only see small progress. But when you start treating every dollar as important, you shift to a new level of discipline. That's what acting rich really means. It's not loud or flashy, it's calculated and intentional. People often think they'll change when they have more money. They say they'll get organized when their income grows. They'll start saving when they make enough. They'll invest when things settle down. But if you don't make smart moves now, you won't suddenly start when you have more. Habits build wealth, not wishes. And habits are built in the present. If you waste money today, you'll likely waste more tomorrow. But if you're focused, responsible, and intentional now, that mindset will grow with your income. Smart money moves are simple but powerful. Paying yourself first instead of spending first. Tracking where your money goes. Living below your means without complaining. Choosing to save even when it's inconvenient, saying no to what doesn't serve your goals. These aren't glamorous moves. They don't get applause, but they build something stronger than approval. They build security. And once you have security, you start to feel something most people never do. Peace. Acting rich means having the courage to plan long-term. It means choosing a strong future over a comfortable now. It means not needing validation through things. It means knowing your worth isn't in your clothes, your car, or your gadgets. It's about how you think, manage, and lead yourself. True power comes from being the kind of person who could improve their life but doesn't need to right away. That restraint builds wealth. That patience creates space. That discipline forms the foundation. Get used to thinking before you spend. Ask yourself, is this helping or hurting? Is this creating freedom or pressure? Am I buying this because it aligns with my values or because I'm reacting to stress or boredom? These questions will sharpen your mind. They'll teach you how to delay gratification, not because you can't afford something, but because you know there's something better to build. That's how the wealthy think. They don't chase feelings, they follow a plan. Create systems that support smart behavior. Automate your savings. Schedule your budget check-ins. Set reminders to review your financial goals. Make it harder to make bad decisions by putting good systems in place. When you don't rely on willpower, you free up mental energy that can be used to create more opportunities. Setting up a smart money system doesn't take long, but pays off daily by keeping you on track. Measure progress every day, even if it feels slow. Saving $1, paying a small debt, or making a wise choice instead of a wasteful one are real wins. Stack these wins, track them, and watch them grow over time. Acting rich means you're not waiting for a big break. You're building it, brick by brick, decision by decision. The more consistent you are, the faster things change. Cut out what doesn't matter. Remove the noise. Stop spending on things that have no lasting value. You're not missing out, you're leveling up. Most people stay broke trying to keep up with things they don't even truly enjoy. But you don't need that. You need progress, clarity, and results that show up in your bank account, mindset, and confidence. Every time you make a smart money choice instead of going for quick pleasure, you're making your future stronger. Remind yourself daily that your goal is freedom. This means waking up with options, not needing to stay in a job you dislike, and being able to invest in what matters. It means giving without stress and living with purpose. All of this comes from making smart decisions repeatedly, not just once or when it's convenient. Every day, whether you feel like it or not, there's power in keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Spend less than you earn. Save part of every paycheck. Keep your fixed expenses low. Avoid debt unless it builds something valuable. Track your numbers so you're never guessing. These are the habits that make people wealthy, and you don't need millions to start them. You just need commitment. You just need to decide to act like the person you want to become. Stay aware of your surroundings. If the people around you make fun of being smart with money, you need better conversations. If your social media is full of spending and comparing, you need new content. Surround yourself with ideas, people, and examples that promote smart living, that make smart choices normal, and that remind you that real wealth is quiet, steady, and planned. Being different now will lead to freedom later. Don't let boredom be your excuse. Many people make bad money choices because they're bored. They shop to kill time, buy because they're tired, spend because they feel stuck. Acting rich means facing boredom and choosing to build anyway. Read a book, plan your goals, work on a skill, do something productive. The most financially successful people use boring moments to prepare, to create, and to grow. Track your net worth. Even if it's small, watch the number. Learn from it and let it motivate you. Whenever you understand your money better, you clear up confusion in your life. This clarity leads to better actions. It stops you from lying to yourself and saying, "I think I'm doing okay," and helps you know exactly where you stand. This self-honesty distinguishes dreamers from doers. Aim to improve, not to be perfect. You don't have to get everything right, but you need to be intentional. One smart decision a day adds up to something strong. One good decision after another builds a life that many people dream of. Acting rich means making wealth building a part of your daily life, not just a future goal. Use your energy to create, not just consume. Build things, start something new, and learn how to grow your money. Don't just work for money, learn how to make money work for you. This is what rich people do every day. They focus on assets, not just income. They focus on owning things, not just spending money. You need to bring this mindset into your daily routine. Ask yourself, what am I building today? What am I learning? What systems am I improving? Keep your mind sharp. Study finance. Understand taxes. Learn how businesses grow. Learn what leverage means. This is the language of freedom. Most people avoid it because it's unfamiliar. But once you understand it, you start making powerful decisions. You stop being confused and start being clear. And clarity leads to smarter moves. Every single time, use today as proof. You don't need to wait to be wealthy to act wealthy. Just start with what you have, where you are. Be the person who plans ahead, who saves without being told, who tracks without stress, who learns without needing motivation. That's how you build something real. That's how you take control. When the world tells you to relax, to loosen up, to treat yourself when you can't afford it, remember why you started. Remember that acting rich isn't about pretending, it's about preparing. Every smart move you make today protects you tomorrow. Every smart habit you build now becomes the reason you get to live on your own terms later. So keep stacking good choices. Keep ignoring the noise. Keep leading yourself when no one's watching. That's how you win. Not with a lucky break. Not with a secret shortcut, but with simple, consistent, smart money moves. Repeated daily. No matter what, that's the real way to act rich, and that's exactly how you become rich. Thank you.